Over the course of the past week, many people have been absolutely glued to their TV screens, watching coverage of the George Floyd protests and subsequent riots. The journalists delivering the sometimes shocking and unimaginable pictures and video are working around the clock, sacrificing their safety to bring you views from the front lines. One of those reporters, Fox News correspondent Brian Yennis, who shared his unique perspective with me on Wednesday. Brian, welcome to Chasing News. How are you doing?
Hey, Bill, doing okay. A little lacking sleep, but we're doing all right.
I was going to say, you are literally working around the clock, crazy shift. Tell me, what's the emotion like? You and your camera guy, you're on the ground. There's a lot of tension. What's it been like the last few days?
It's been a whirlwind, but I got to say, it's been a roller coaster. It started off with the protesters. We got over in Brooklyn on Bedford Avenue. We thought we were there for a peaceful protest, and things got bad quickly. They were throwing bricks and glass bottles at police after the police charged them on Bedford Avenue after a couple agitators started beating down a police van. And we were there for 3 hours, and there were 2 cop cars that were lit on fire. There were people trying to de-escalate the situation. Even one nurse, who obviously we all know how we're fighting COVID-19 here, a nurse dressed in nurse garb was in the middle of both the police and the protesters, just trying to de-escalate the situation. But that was a dangerous time. I mean, there were glass bottles hitting officers. We saw officers going into the ambulances, and at the same time, we saw lots of arrests. And then after that, we ran right over to Union Square, and that was a tough situation.
Tell me about your crew, right? As you're in the mix of this, who's watching your back? Is it just you and your camera guy, or are there others? Are there producers with you?
Yeah, so it's just Oleg and I, and we have 2 security guys. Oleg is our camera guy, and we just go from location to location. We're listening to the police scanner. We jump into a car. We start about 5 p.m. every day. We go till 4 a.m., and It has been hectic just listening to, it's like fire after fire, right? Looting after looting event, and it's all up and down Manhattan and into Brooklyn, and it has been long nights, and frankly, emotionally, it's sad to see our city like this, and you're trying to do the best job you can while at the same time looking out for your safety in the situations where mobs of looters are walking around the city for those 2 nights, especially Sunday, Monday night.
Brian, did anything jump out at you as just a really, a positive moment, something that you're just never going to forget that you saw?
Yeah, I'm never going to forget that nurse in Brooklyn who decided, you know what, I'm fighting COVID-19, and she was telling the people on the street, this is our city. You guys do not incite violence. Please de-escalate the situation. And again, another situation, Washington Square Park, where the chief of department, Terrence Monahan, he was right there, and he kneeled with the protesters, and they were hand in hand together. And Terrence Monahan said, look, this is our city. The guys that are doing this are the agitators. They're not from here. That was a powerful moment, because at that moment in Washington Square Park, there were bottles being thrown by agitators to police, and that could have gone any which way. But that was a moment where I felt like, you know what, New Yorkers, we came together and we stopped it from getting worse after what we had seen on that Saturday night.
All right, Brian, thanks for joining me. Be safe. Give our best to Oleg.
For sure. Thanks, guys.